Absolutely. We get the player perspective from our NBA analyst, Antonio Davis. And, in less than a week, we now have seen two very dramatic, changes in franchise cornerstones as both Dwayne Wade and Kevin Durant depart for two different reasons. As someone who played 13 seasons in the NBA, what's your reaction to these moves?
Really clapping for these guys,
for the player to pick where
for the
he
player
wants
to figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's make the turn to on the court because it's well known that Fred Hoiberg runs a pace and space offense. So how does the addition of D-Wade and Rondo fit in with that offense?
Fred is going to have to figure some things out. But when you
certainly surprised all of us with those two moves.
Sure.
So we will see what happens. Antonio, thank you so much for the insight.
Thank you.
7:36 Eastern, back on SportsCenter AM. Jay, Kevin, Jamie. It is hard to believe I'm going to be watching Heat games this winter, not seeing D-Wade on the court, unless Miami's playing Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there you go.
I'll be watching Bulls games.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan Lebitard in his column kind of put it very well, saying it's just a messy breakup and it hurts for everybody. And more on just, how much Miami is going to miss this guy. ESPN NBA columnist and South Florida native Israel Gutierrez looks back at Dwayne Wade and his time with the Heat.
That was really
by the way,
good.
he's 25 years old. First 2 seasons in the big leagues, total of 10 home runs. Already has 20 home runs.
Wow.
His OPS is 996 with 61 base knocks. So
I think he's got your vote.
Well, I mean, it says enough. Pretty good, right? I saw him also play in person, and he did pretty well.
Buck reached out to you. What'd he say?
He said, "Don't let that moment define you," and that really resonated with me. And it stuck with me to this day, so I'm definitely going to take.
Buck reached out to you. What'd he say?
He said, "Don't let that moment define you," and that really resonated with me. And it stuck with me to this day, so I'm definitely going to take.
Philosophy of holding the football. I mean, we see stuff in the movies with the program where you're carrying the football around.
Yeah.
Does that change anything here?
No, you can't let it.
Though. I actually like it. I like that rivalry. How much?
I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of it's something. It's a rivalry that.
Brian Windhorst, Kevin Durant introduced yesterday officially as a Golden State Warrior. I would assume OKC is trying to move on, rebuild, as Sam Presti said, carry on. What are you hearing about their plans?
This is a brutal situation for because the concept that Serge Ibaka, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant, your big three, for the last 7 years, your core could be gone in the span of a couple of weeks is mind-numbing, but it might be the most responsible thing to do.
So let's rewind before we move forward and or to the present. Do you believe if James Harden stayed on the team, we'd be in this thing? Westbrook hasn't said anything publicly since KD's decision to move on. How do you think that relationship will play on and off the court moving forward?
Kevin told us, yes. I think it's the NBA, but I think it does tell a lot about Kevin, too. You're right.
All right. Brian Windhorst, you have worked hard this season. Are you done?
This is like at the end of the school year, finally. But LeBron's still a free agent. LeBron, will you please sign so we can go on vacation?
So you can go on vacation and relax, hang out with your dog, family, things like that. Okay, priorities. Brian Windhorst, thank you so much. D-Wade, he is with the Bulls. What happens with Miami? How do they rebuild from here? Because there's so much uncertainty on that roster in terms of Chris Bosh. Is he coming back? What do they do?
I think you could.
This is Winslow's still a great guy. No disrespect. He said the other day, I'm still processing the fact that Dwayne Wade is gone. So if you had to bet money, would you have seen him with the Bulls this season? Did you think that he and the Heat would work it out?
I mean,
a nugget here. Thank you. I appreciate it for joining us here. Church on SportsCenter Coast to Coast. Speaking of church, Tony, do you go to church? I don't know.